Makky Kaylor is getting a little sentimental with the release of his latest project. Recorded late last year right here in Nashville, this new album includes a few tracks from Marty Robbins, Eddy Arnold, and Jim Reeves, making this truly a sentimental project. Makky has recruited some terrific players for the album, and it's one that is quite special to him. We had a chance to check in with Makky in the studio to hear all about the new project. Here's Kelly with more.
I have caught up with Makky Kaylor, and we are right in the midst of the making of this project here in the studio. How cool, how are you?
Great, awesome. I'm very excited to be here doing this today. It's awesome.
It's so, you seem so relaxed. I mean, what a busy, you've got musicians everywhere. Tell us about this project.
This project, well, first of all, the musicians are fabulous. They're some of the best in the industry, and they've played with everybody through the years. In fact, the guitar player and the drummer are both the players on the Opry, so they're fabulous, and that fits right into this project because the project is really one that pays honor to the traditional Nashville sound, which is the time in the 50s and 60s when honky-tonk music was basically, they added strings and they made it a little bit more country pop, and they took music from the farm to the world, literally. And the first international superstars, Eddy Arnold and Jim Reeves and all those guys, were really the groundbreakers for that kind of music and for taking country music into the world. So basically, we're just paying honor to that and we are actually doing Eddy Arnold music, we're doing Jim Reeves music, and we're doing some of my music that fits in with that project too.
How did I lose you?
It actually is going to be called A Little Sentimental, a tribute to the Nashville sound. But A Little Sentimental is a song that we found on an old Marty Robbins project, and we're also doing Devil Woman by Marty Robbins as well. So, which is great. But a lot of people don't know that song, A Little Sentimental, and it's just perfect. Obviously, it's a perfect title for the project, but it's also musically, it's a great setup for the project as well. And we are hoping to be able to also, I'm going to tell some stories and interweave a little bit of the history of this music in between these songs.
Love that.
So it's
on the actual album.
On the actual album, and I've got something that's really special to me. I've got an audio letter that Eddy Arnold sent to me shortly before he died, just encouraging me and telling me how much he enjoyed my music. And so we are hoping to be able to use part of that, just a little snippet from that on the project as well. So actually the voice of Mr. Arnold will be on there too.
'Cause I don't want to stay, I want to get away, woman, let go of my arm. Oh, devil woman.
Who are some of your influences? Because obviously all of these guys had a big impact on your musical love, and that's why you're doing this tribute. But growing up as a kid, what were you into?
Well, my mom played piano a lot growing up, and that's what I listened to, was her doing not only like Southern Gospel quartets and things like that, and I grew up in Memphis, so Elvis was a big part of my life and all that. But she also played a lot and sang a lot of the old Eddy Arnold music and Jim Reeves and Patsy Cline and all the great country artists, you know, that really established country music in such a huge way. And those songs, you know, a lot of people have redone a lot of the old pop standards like Frank Sinatra and that's what Tony Bennett and that sort of stuff. But nobody's, as far as I know, there are not many people that are bringing a Southern element into that. And that was such a huge part of music in general back then, was the Southern element of this country pop music. And that's so a lot of that I grew up on. I loved that music growing up because of the musicality of it. It's simple. I love country radio today, but there's for me, this is the impetus for me doing this was really to go back to sort of the beginning and really sort of wipe away some of the noise. I don't know if that sounds good or not, but basically just get down to the basics of what made a good melody and a good lyric and just the great instrumentation of these songs when they added the strings and all that. So that's what I wanted to get back to with this project and just say, look, country music and what it was created to be back then is still something that's still strong, and it's all about a great melody and a great lyric and a great song and a great vocal.
Thank you so much for catching up with us today. Make sure you look for the album A Little Sentimental by wonderful Mr. Makky Kaylor.
Look for A Little Sentimental to be released on Tuesday. That's not all the great music we have for you this week. We'll take a look back at a very special music icon when we come back. Don't go away.